What's up, TGM Television? Y'all went live first. What's up, Instagram? And what's up on Facebook? There you go, Facebook. You just came on. Good evening. I am Minister Marcus, and welcome to the Maximize Your Life Bible Study. It's always good to see you on Wednesday night. I came on last Wednesday, even though it was the night before Thanksgiving, and I know that some of you guys was cooking. I hope y'all saved me a plate. I know it's a week later. I still eat leftovers. I'm just playing. But even then, it's funny that people were telling me I was on too short. I don't know. I thought everybody wanted to cook, but I'm glad that everybody is just getting something from the Bible studies every Wednesday night. What I do on Wednesday nights is I come on and I try to give some encouragement and guidance to people who are trying to live the Christian life. And so hopefully tonight I can give you something that is going to help your faith or that can help you to grow. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but tonight is the first Wednesday in December. And what I have been doing for the Bible studies is I've been going through one book of the Bible every month. And so we are in the fifth book of the Bible, that is Deuteronomy. And so tonight is the first night that we will be in Deuteronomy. And it's going to be a real short lesson tonight. I know, but it's going to be a short lesson tonight. I hope that you guys get something. We are coming from Deuteronomy chapter 2. And It's going to be a quick lesson, as I said, and it's the first lesson in Deuteronomy. Hopefully, you guys have been following along. The rest of this month, we will be in Deuteronomy. It's a lot of words to say in Deuteronomy, but hopefully, you guys can get something. Hopefully, something that I say will help you. I got two things for you tonight. Two things, and I'm going off. Okay. And so tonight, once again, we are in Deuteronomy chapter 2, and I'm going to try to be as brief as I can. I see you on Instagram. How you doing? I see you guys on Facebook. All right, and so we are in Deuteronomy chapter 2, and I'm going to read verse 2 through 7. Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 2 through 7. All right, I got two things for you tonight, and then I'm going offline. Okay, and it reads, and the Lord spoke to me, saying, Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 2. You have circled this mountain long enough. Now turn north and command the people, saying, you will pass through the territory of your brothers, the sons of Esau, who live in Seir, and they will be afraid of you, so be very careful. Do not provoke them, for I will not give you any of their land, even as little as a footstep, because I have given Mount Seir to Esau as a possession. You shall buy food from them with money, so that you may eat, and you shall purchase water from them with money, so that you may drink. For the Lord your God has blessed you in all that you have done. He has known your wanderings through this great wilderness. These 40 years the Lord your God has been with you. You have not lacked a thing. All right. And so tonight I got two things for you, and then I'm going offline. All right. Two things. And so, first, for those of you who have been following along, what we have been doing is we have been following the nation of Israel as God brings them from Egypt. And what God does for them is He promised them that He is going to bring them into a land that is their own. So He brings them from slavery, and His intention is to bring them into a land that they can call their own. All right. And so, what we have been doing since the book of Exodus is we have been following this nation of Israel coming from Egypt and on their way to the promised land. And so, where we are in Deuteronomy, the children of Israel are encamped right at the edge of the promised land where we have been following to try to get them. They right here at it. And this is where Deuteronomy picks up. And for those of you that don't know, or for those of you that remember, last month when we were in Numbers, we saw how God told them to go over into the land to possess it. There were other nations in there, so they was going to have to fight for it. And the nation of Israel rebelled against God. So they rose up against Moses. They was trying to stone him, right? They started talking about God, like, God, you brought us out here to die. And so God told them, well, since you don't want to go in, so he turned them around and he said, everybody from that generation was going to die. So all of the people who murmured against Moses, all of the people who murmured against God, all of the people who rose up to try to stone Moses and Aaron, God said, y'all gonna wander in the wilderness until the whole generation die. And so where we are in Deuteronomy is it's at the end of that. It's been 40 years. That entire generation has died. And now God gets Moses to talk to the new nation, right? And so this is all a younger nation of people. They know about the older generation, but Moses here is speaking to the next generation about the history of their nation. All right. And so I just wanted to give you a backdrop so everybody's on the same page. Moses, now, and I want you to get this, that Moses is telling them this so that they don't make the same mistake that the last generation made. And so what Moses is doing is he's telling the new nation about all of the craziness that the generation before them did so that they don't be stupid and make the same mistakes. And so Deuteronomy is designed for the new generation to learn from the mistakes of their past. I'm going to say that one more time. Deuteronomy is designed for the new generation to learn from the mistakes of their past, which brings me to number one. Number one, what we're talking about tonight, learn from your past. And so the question becomes, what did you learn from it? What did you learn from it? And I'm a marketizer. My marketizer is reflect to correct. I don't reflect on it to relive the situation, but I reflect on it to learn from the situation. And so number one is learn from your past. And so my question is, what did you learn from it? I talk to so many people that go through so many different things, and at the end of every feeling, at the end of every emotion, at the end of every heartbreak, at the end of every disappointment, my question is, what did you learn from it? What did you learn from it? I want you to consider, right, that everything that you deal with or go through or experience in your life is not just for you to go through it, but it's there for you to learn from it. And so at the end of that, at the end of all of that, I ask, what did you learn from it? Because if you didn't learn nothing from it, your tears are in vain, the frustration is in vain, your struggle was in vain, the pain was in vain, because you're going to see it again if you did not learn from it. And it becomes important to learn from your past because you got to evaluate to see what you need to do different so that you don't make the same mistakes in your present that you made in your past. And I think that's significant. I think that's very significant because so many times we are saved, but we are stuck in cycles. We are saved. We know how to go to church, but in our lives, we are stuck in cycles, like the children of Israel, stuck in cycles. I don't want you to get this, that the place your life is now is a product of your past decisions. So that means the decisions you make now would dictate where your life will be in the future. And here's what I want to stress. If you continue to make the same type of choices, your life will always be stuck in the same place. And so when I say to you, learn from your past, what have you learned from it? Because if you haven't learned nothing from it, that means your actions are going to what? Stay the same. And ultimately your life is going to be what? In the same place. And my daddy told me this back in the day, long time ago. He said to me, he said, Marcus, if you want to change your life, you got to change your actions and your activity. You got to change your perspective. You got to change your attitude. And I think we don't stress enough, especially at church, because most preachers tell people spin around 3 times and stand on your head and say Jesus, and then everything will go away. But in reality, you can do all of that at church, but never learn from your past mistakes and continue making the same stupid decisions, and your life will always be in the same place. I want you to get this, that that last generation of Israel never got out of the wilderness. They belonged to God, but they were stuck. And I want to ask you a question. Have you evaluated your life to see if you have become stuck? When I say stuck in repeating the same cycle of events. And I believe that it's so significant tonight that we as a Christian people understand that you can be saved, but you can be stuck in the same cycle of events. Let me just be real. There was a time in my life, right, that I was going through a cycle. A cycle. When I say a cycle, I would get out of one relationship and we had a certain type of argument. I get in another relationship and then we having the same argument. And it took me about 3 or 4 relationships before I started to understand, man, it seems like I keep having the same conversation with a new person. I didn't realize that I was repeating the same cycle of events. And in reality, I had not evaluated. Look what I say. Reflection is good for correction. I did not reflect good enough on my past to see where I needed to change or do something different so that I could progress in my life. And so I want you to get this, that God will not force you to change your choices. God will not force you to make better decisions. God will not. You will be saved. You will make it to heaven, but you can live a life that is stuck. Get it that they were in the wilderness for 40 years, stuck in the wilderness. They died in the wilderness. And I think that's so sad that we as Christians, we are stuck being broke. We are stuck being depressed. We are stuck being unhappy, stuck being sad. And it's not because God don't have the power. It's because we don't evaluate the crazy choices that we make, or we expect God to change what we ourselves will not address. And I want you to hear me when I say that God will not force you to change your choices, but God will allow experience in your life to stand out to make you evaluate. Maybe what happened with me is maybe I realized, right, that it wasn't somebody else, but maybe it was my choices that were recreating a cycle of events in my life. And here's my word to you tonight. When I say learn from your past, maybe your choices are recreating a cycle of events in your life. And this is what Deuteronomy, Moses says, look, they did all this stupid stuff. Don't do that or you're going to end up like them. Don't act like that or you're going to end up like them. And I wish somebody would tell the young people, I try to tell my kids, listen, I'm not telling you this because I want you to be like me. I'm telling you this because I don't want you to be like me. I want you to learn from my experiences that if you do stupid things, you can expect stupid results. And I think that we believe because we trust God and we love God and that we go to church, that God can overcome stupid decisions. But in reality, God is not going to overcome your stupidity. But you've got to look back and learn from your past. Come on, say, I got to learn from my past. Here's my question. What did you learn from it? It was frustrating, but what did you learn from it? It was upsetting, but what did you learn from it? It was a struggle, but what did you learn from it? It's important that you understand the lesson of the things that you went through. Why? Because I don't want my next 5 years to look like my last 5 years. And I don't know if that was just y'all, but I got to a point in my life where I did not want to go through the same things anymore. I got tired of having the same conversations with new people. I got tired of going through the same cycle of events with different characters in my life. I wanted something different. And so I want to stress that, to learn from your past, because if you do not learn from your past, you are going to relive your past. And then you'll look up and it's been 5 years and you're still going through the same cycle of events. It's been 10 years, the same cycle of events. And I want you to hear me when I say that tonight, guys. I want you to hear me. It's very possible to come to church every single Sunday and still be living in the same cycle of events, just going through the motions, going to church, going back to the same cycle of events. Come on, say, I got to learn from my past. I got to learn from it. What did you learn from it? I got to a place where I wanted to see progress in every area of my, look, when you get tired, that'll make you change some stuff. I started to look back and reevaluate. Maybe I could have done that different. Maybe I should have done that different. Maybe I should have went about doing that different. Life has a way of training you, of making you reevaluate, right? Okay, so number one, and I only got two things tonight. Number one, learn from your past. Don't relive your past. Learn from your past. Don't lay in your past. Learn from your past. Don't live in your past. Learn from your past. All right, so that's number one. All right, and so if you notice when we read this, God told them, he said that these people, they scared of y'all, so be careful. This is what we say. I don't want you to engage in a war with them because I'm not giving you their land. That land it's already been, given to them. That's not for y'all. So I don't want y'all bothering it. Did y'all read that? I just read that. I just read that. And God says to them, I don't want you to engage in a war with them because I'm not giving you the land. In other words, get it? I want y'all to follow me. I don't want you to waste your energy fighting a battle that's not going to get you closer to your destination. So you got to keep it moving. Come on, say, I got to keep it moving. I don't know who this is for tonight, but have you been fighting battles that are not helping you get closer to your destination? I don't know if that's, I don't know who that's for tonight, but I feel like that's for somebody that may be watching. Have you been fighting battles that are not helping you get closer to your destination? Have you been using time, energy, and effort on things that are not helping you get closer to this is what he says. Don't fight them. That ain't got nothing to do with you. Just pass through. When it's time to eat, you pay them. When it's time to get some of their water from the well, you pay them. But you gotta come on. You gotta keep it moving. I want to stress this. We as Christian people gotta learn how to keep it moving. Everything does not need your response. And here's number 3. Pick your battles. Come on, say that. Pick your battles. It boils down to this. Learn to pick your battles. And here it is. You have to be intentional. This is number 2. Be intentional with your time, your energy, and your effort. Be intentional with your time, your energy, and your effort. This is what God say. I don't want y'all wasting time fighting with them because it ain't gonna get you nowhere. I don't want you to waste your energy doing that. It ain't gonna get you nowhere. All that effort that you're gonna exert trying to start a war with them, I don't want you to do that because it's not going to get you anywhere. And look, I had to learn this. I really had to learn this. That especially when I was young, I was a hothead. And my mama could tell you my attitude was extremely bad. And I felt like everybody that came for me, right, I had to show them something. Until I got older and I started having goals, right? I started having vision. And then it would occur to me when I started having kids, I started to think in my mind, is it worth my time? And so I want you to hear me when I say that. Is this worth my time? Is this worth my energy? Is this worth my effort? And I want you to consider that. I want you to consider that. Maybe you should probably stop wasting your time, energy, and effort on things that are not helping you progress in your life, arguments that are not helping you progress in your life, people that are not helping you progress in your life, in places doing things that are not helping you, you got it, progress in your life. And this is what God says to them. He said, look, don't waste your energy on that. And look, when you understand that your time is a limited resource, your energy is a limited resource, your effort is a limited resource, you'll stop squandering it like it don't matter. When I start to recognize that I'm not guaranteed tomorrow, that means I need to be progress in my life. I could walk away, I could keep it moving. It's easier for me to just walk away from some stuff when I recognize my time is limited, my energy is limited, my effort is limited. I don't have time. I got you. We can always be friends, but I don't have time. Lord, deliver me from people who don't want to progress because I got a limited amount of time. I got a long distance to go, but I got a short time to get there. And I want you to hear me when I say this. I want you to hear me when I say that it's not acting funny. It's understanding that everything does not demand a response from you. And so number 2, be intentional with your time because it's a limited resource. Be intentional with your energy and your effort. Every time you use it, you're taking away from the energy you will need to fight the real battles. And this is what I counsel young couples, especially. I tell young couples, I say, if you spend all your time fighting against each other, when the real problems hit your relationship, it's going to be hard for y'all to have the energy to fight the stuff on the outside because y'all are so busy fighting yourselves on the inside. And that's the whole understanding. If you exert all your energy fighting battles that don't matter, you won't be ready to handle the battles that do matter. And I want y'all to get that. Hear me when I say that. Your time is limited. Your energy is limited, and so is your effort. And so I decided this. I'm only concern myself with things that are helping me to progress, people that are helping me get close to my destination. I'm only going to places that are going to help me progress. No more wasted time, no more wasted energy, no more wasted effort. And this is what God is saying to them. Don't start no fights with them. Don't even get entangled into that because it's not helping. It's not going to help you get nowhere. And so with that, guys, look, that's all I got for you. Hopefully something that was just 2 things and I'm done. Hopefully something that I said was an encouragement to you or made you just think, man, maybe I've been giving away too much of my time to people that's not really helping me progress. Maybe I've been exerting so much energy and effort into things that are not helping me move forward or progress through my life. And so, man, I just got to a point where, man, I need to go forward. This is my motto. Progression is my obsession. Lord, deliver me from people who don't want to go nowhere in their life. Deliver me from things that stagnant. Deliver me from people that stagnant. Deliver me from habits that stagnant. I want to move forward. And so with that, guys, that's all I got for you. Thank you guys for tuning in. All the links to our information is on the Facebook link. But for those of you who are on Instagram, you can go to www.thegodmovement.com. Those of you who are watching on TGM television, www.thegodmovement.com. It is in the link on the video on YouTube. For those of you guys that are on Instagram, www.thegodmovement.com. I want y'all to hear me when I say this. We give all year round to the homeless. all year. When you go to our website, you can see we don't just want your money. If you got bars of soap that you can donate, if you got socks that you can donate, we want all of that stuff, because what we do is we give it to the homeless. So with that, guys, thank y'all for tuning in. I'll be right back next Wednesday night at 8:30. I think I stayed on about 20 minutes and I am done. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. Don't say I've been on too short, all right? It's been 20 minutes. Thank you guys for tuning in on Facebook. I see you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in on Instagram and on YouTube. Good night. Y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all next Wednesday at 8:30. Good night. Good night. Have a good evening. And good night.